Hello again, welcome back. Returning to our top story now, two men have been found guilty of felling the Sycamore Gap tree, but the motive remains unclear. Let's speak to Sarah Dodd, director and founder of Tree Law, the only law firm in the UK specialising in all legal disputes and issues and questions involving trees. Great to have you on the programme. Fascinated to get your view on all of this. First of all, your thoughts on the verdict and also what must have been going through these two men's minds when they decided to do what they did?
Well, that's a good question. I think we'll never know. We don't know what their motive was. I think it was probably attention, but I think they didn't quite realise the level of attention that this would get them, because it's really gone global in terms of attention.
Is it right, Sarah, that chopping down a tree should be treated as a serious crime?
Absolutely, especially a tree of this nature. I mean, this wasn't just a tree. I think it was referenced as just a tree by one of the defendants whilst he was given evidence. But, you know, this is one of the most notable trees in the UK. You know, it falls within the bracket of ancient and veteran trees. It was far more than that. It was a landmark. It was a very important tree, and it was far, far more than the tree.
That's really interesting. So lawyers and the legal system has taken into account that this tree was more special than an identical tree that didn't have that cultural significance.
I think so, yes. It definitely falls within that bracket of what's being called important trees. So you have a tree of that age. It's far more than just the tree. It's the whole ecosystem that the tree supports that we're really only starting to learn about. So it really is in that unique bracket.
What are your thoughts about sentencing? That's going to come up eventually. Where do things stand?
It is. I think it's going ahead for sentencing on the 15th of July. And there's two options, I think. There's a fine, a monetary fine, or there's a custodial sentence on the table here. And that could be up to 10 years in prison. So that is a really significant sentence. So if the judge goes near that end of the sort of sentencing guidelines, that's really going to be sending a clear deterrent and a clear message to others who might be considering something like, something like this.
Given the notoriety or the fame, if you like, of this tree, the significance of it, why didn't it have special protection?
That's a great question. It's one that's being asked a lot because there's a real call for increased protection for these sorts of trees. In this situation, though, going onto somebody else's land and felling their tree, I mean, that is a criminal offence. So my thought is, had that had increased protection, would it actually have made a difference? I think where increased protection could make a difference is that it might increase the sentencing guideline or change the sentencing guidelines. That mean actually in future cases, if there is increased protection, then there could be even harsher sanctions on the table, which was a bigger deterrent.
Yeah, so it would act as a bigger deterrent, as you say. Yeah, that's a very good point. Do you think we don't give our trees enough protection then? Do you think the law needs to be strengthened?
I think it does. I mean, we have one of the largest number of ancient trees in the UK when compared with our European counterparts, but yet I don't think we give them as much protection as our European counterparts. There are things such as conservation areas and tree preservation orders, but they're really under the spotlight, and there's a lot of change that's being called for tree preservation orders. So yes, my thought is for special trees like this, the ancient, the veteran, the notable, those important trees, that increased protection would be welcomed. And
talk to me about the Heritage Trees Bill.
Oh, so the Heritage Trees Bill is something that's been sponsored by Baroness Young. It's had its first reading in the House of Lords, and what it is it's one of the things that's being done in the sector to try and get that increased protection awarded to those important trees. That, as well as a report that got released last month that was written by the Tree Council, which really campaigns for increased protection.
Your whole career is based around disputes over trees. Is it a common thing? I mean, you hear occasionally, don't you, of neighbours falling out because of a tree encroaching on their property and the like. Is it a big issue in this country?
It is a big issue, yes. Lots of people comment that tree law is pretty niche, but once you're involved in it, it's absolutely huge. So yes, there's lots of sort of arguments over boundary fences, but so much more as well. You know, protected trees, planning issues, damage caused by trees falling in storms. So it's quite a big area.
Yeah, lots of different branches.
Oh,
I'm sure you've heard that one before. Listen, fascinating getting your thoughts on this. Really interesting, and we appreciate your time. Sarah Dodd, director and founder of Tree Law. Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
OK, Pope Leo XIV